our mommy tummy, we obviously target muscles that specifically affect the core. I often talk about the transverse abdominis. As we've talked about before, we have several layers of abdominal muscles. We have 4. And our deepest core muscle is our transverse abdominis. We're often targeting those particular muscles in the exercises that I show you, because that muscle is your deepest core muscle, and it literally wraps around your waistline like a waist trainer. And it helps to cinch you in, hold you up, and hold all those contents in your tummy. All the contents that are inside, hold it in, instead of it just kind of hanging out and giving us that pregnant look, because it got very stretched out during pregnancy. Okay, so we're often targeting those muscles in particular. However, there are other muscles that really help to flatten the tummy as well. One thing that's a very huge problem with our population, when I say our population, I mean moms, people who have had babies. If you've had a baby, you've had a life in your stomach, and it's caused your stomach to stretch out to astronomical proportions, and then you birth a child and you still have this extra skin. But not only that, you also have extra skin and stretched out tissue, but you also often end up with an anterior pelvic tilt. And really where your pelvis, let me get back a little bit, where the pelvis is leaning, so you can see a little bit better, where the pelvis is leaning this way instead of neutral. And we've talked about this before. So with that being a common concern with us, we have to consider what's affecting that. So what's affecting what's causing or keeping us from fixing that anterior pelvic tilt. So one, our core muscles are weak oftentimes, so they're kind of stretched out and going this way. But not only that, underneath here we have the hamstrings. Now the hamstrings, when we do like this, you see how the hamstring kind of lengthens. If I rotate this way, it shortens. So what we often have are these stretched out hamstrings, weak glutes as well, which also contributes to that anterior pelvic tilt. So working on exercises that helps to strengthen what we call the posterior chain muscles. So we have the hamstrings, the glutes, that's going to help rotate it back down. That also sometimes results from a lot of sitting. So if we're sitting all the time, holding our babies, our life now is a lot of it is about sitting, that's going to affect just sitting in this posture all the time. But if we're working on this back part of our body, that's going to really help to balance things out, and that can also help to rotate that pelvis and flatten out the tummy. Because you see here, if I'm like this, the front of my muscles of my abs are lengthened and stretched out. If I rotate this way, they can shorten back, and this gives the support, because this is lengthening even in back here, and it's tightening here, okay? Not only that, but doing reverse plank, which I'll be demonstrating and giving you specifics in a second about how to really get the most out of a reverse plank. You're also using your upper back muscles. So you're using your serratus anterior in the back. You're using your lower lats in the back when you're doing this reverse plank move. And your abs are also connected to those muscles. That's why when your posture isn't very optimal, you're like this, your tummy can pooch out more. But when you use those back muscles and lengthen up, it's pulling it from up here. It pulls the muscles tighter from here and helps to support and helps to even correct diastasis recti by doing that. So it's really, even though this isn't a heavy duty abdominal exercise, even though it is challenging your core, trust me, you'll feel it in a second, it's supporting that strengthening and flattening with the lower muscles that affect and the upper muscles that affect your tummy, okay? So let's go ahead and go into that reverse plank right now, just to show you proper form and what's the best way of doing it. So you'll see in my exercises, I do them really quickly when I show them on my reels or shorts or TikToks or wherever you're watching this from. You'll see me do something like this, right? I'm up here and I'm doing this move, right? Okay, so let's troubleshoot that just a little bit so that we make sure that we're doing that properly. Some of you may have what you feel like are weaker shoulders. You're like, I can't do that, I can never do that. So let's start from the basic. First, you want to make sure your hands are pointing towards you. So not out, but in. That's going to really help to engage your triceps and the part of the back that we're really wanting to target. So you're wanting to just start here, put your hands behind you. And first, without doing anything down low really, I want you just to push up, okay? And not just push up, but push all the way up. Sometimes we're just sinking down into our arms. Push all the way up, okay? And then I want you to even open up your shoulders. You see my shoulders can be this way. I want you to open them up, but I want you to use your scapula. I want you to use your muscles in the back and like you're pushing your shoulder blades together, okay? So you're gonna use your serratus to push up. You're gonna really try to pinch your shoulder blades together. Oh, I can feel that already. I'm starting to sweat because we're not just hanging in there. Up, push back, and then I want you to just see how that feels. You can keep it there and you can even just push up like this, okay? And like I said, really engaging those muscles are going to help to pull and support you from up top, because you notice when you're hunched over, your belly pooches out. When you sit up nice and tall, so with the support of those back muscles, you'll find that your tummy will flatten because it's connected, okay? So once you have that part, let's say that your shoulders feel really weak, just practice that, okay? Just practice coming up and pushing up and bringing those shoulder blades together. And then as you get stronger, I want you to bring in the lower body. Like your lower body is already working because you're using the back part of these muscles to hold you up a little bit. But I want you to engage them even more to really help to fix this anterior tilt, okay? So this, like I said, this move really, really works on the whole back side of our body. So we're gonna push up, all the way up, and then we're gonna kind of pretend as though you're trying to bring your heels towards your butt without lifting them, okay? And you're not actually gonna move them, but you're gonna feel that, and you're gonna rotate your tailbone like up, okay? And that's gonna cause you to start using those lower abs. And then as you do that, you wanna see how that feels. How does that feel right there? I'm about to like sweat up a storm, all right? Okay, once that feels good, you feel that right under there. Once that feels good, you can start doing the things that you see me do in my workouts. Now they're pretty advanced, I know. If you find those moves are really advanced, jump in my 8-week core challenge. It will take you from the beginning all the way up to that point so you can feel strong to do that, okay? But for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, you can handle something like this. You're gonna push up, kind of pretend as though you kind of drag those heels towards you, and then you're gonna lift your hips, and then you can start lifting. Which I want you to do is don't let your hips sag. You're gonna have to use your abs to keep your hips from sagging, all right? Don't do this, none of that. Keep it up, lift, lift. All right, well, I hope that helps. Also answer the question, how the reverse plank really helps. You have to really look at this from a total body perspective. Yes, we do a lot of tummy exercises that are very particular to the abs, but you also have other parts of your body that support having a nice strong core, and it's so important to engage those. Your glutes, your back, your hamstrings, all those things are going to matter, and this one is a great one for flattening the tummy, using those accessory muscles, and also engaging your lower core as well. All right, let me know if you have any other exercises you want me to troubleshoot. I'm just going to kind of go through the different exercises, and I'll be posting this one also on my YouTube channel.